G'day, I'm Murray and we're at the Botanic Gardens in Gladstone. Here's the plan. We're about here. We're going to head in through here, up here, cross the bridge, pop over here and check on some fruit, pop around here and see if a tree is in fruit yet. Then we're going to do the outside edge of the gardens and have a look around there. This, probably that path there. It's quite possible I'll go up here to the economic horticulture section, back down, and we'll come through here and around the outside edge of the gardens. Right, we'll probably go up here, around the back up here, and just do the outer rim of the garden so you can get an idea of how impressive the gardens are. And around here, yeah, we'll go this way, and there's some trees we've got to have a look at just there. And then back out, and as you can see, that leaves a vast portion of the gardens untouched. It's really epic that a town Gladstone size has such a fantastic set of gardens. And this was the original water supply of the town. Right, I shall put away the stick of doom and get organised. Prime display, right. We've got a couple of these here. These aren't in flower at the moment. These are crown of golds. Gladstone's official tree. Yes, towns have official trees. They are pretty spectacular when they're in flower. These are babies yet. Ah, this is a lovely golden panda. Very pretty. These fountains are usually running. There's actually yabbies that turn up in them. Oh, they are running. They're pretty cool. I'm intrigued by these. This looks like some kind of obscure ancient fern. They're obviously spore driven and clumping. There's quite a few of them. I wonder if there's something quite rare. I don't know. This is a very Australian garden. There's not a lot of foreign trees in here. They've kept a backbone of large gum trees and trees that were already on the property, and they've worked around that as a canopy layer and taken the opportunity to plant heaps of different things. We've got big gum, big gum, big gum, palms, some kind of rainforest tree. A fig, actually. No, those are the fan palms. This is a creek that heads toward the body of water over there. See the restaurant balcony? This creek often flows because they water fairly heavily upstream, and that water comes back down here, some of it. Well, there's a blue quandong just there. I thought it would be in fruit at the moment. Oh. It is in fruit, but perhaps not spectacularly so. So spectacular. Maybe just ending or just starting to fruit. One of our scrub ducks, a bush turkey. This is where we take a little detour to try and find some fruit. Now it's getting to that time of year when you don't want to get under bunya trees. There's a little stand of them. He's starting over there because I don't really want to get killed. Now, Eugenia reinwoodiana, the beach cherry. This was flowering last time I was here, but it doesn't have any fruit on it. That's a pity. I like these. There's another one in the back and some babies on the ground. Right. Illawarra plum pine is the next stop on our detour. A couple of rather attractive pandanus. Uh-oh. The hoop pines are dropping pods. I should probably give them a bit of distance too. You can't see any fruit from the Illawarra plum pines. Okay, I'm just taunting you, we're not going that way. We're going to head back. It's a lot more open here, but they've left a lot more of the big gums. Head back on our outer circuit. This is how I'm going to use the map. The red dots are the path we take. The blue dots are where I actually stop and turn around and retrace my steps on a path, just going out of the way to check something and then heading back. And the yellow X's are where we are on the map at the point in time when I cross to the map. I'm not going to delete these yellow X's. They're just going to be at different stages as we progress through the gardens. Oh, that's pretty impressive for size. We have a few species of basket fern native to Australia. Here's a little baby basket fern. They're called basket ferns because they've got two leaf patterns. It's the same plant, and they're commonly an epiphyte. So the little low leaves catch detritus that rots down, and the big leaves are more for sunshine and happiness. Splenium astral, oops, that is so not a bird's nest fern. This, oh, there's one in the back. This is Drinaria rigidula, it's a basket fern. And this is what they were talking about with the bird's nest fern. Often called the crow's nest fern, particularly by me. So, yeah, this is Drinaria rigidula. We've got about 3 types that I know of in Australia. And this is Drinaria rigidula with a Platycerium bifurcatum growing in it, which is an elkhorn fern. So 2 of everything. Okay, back on track. I'm easily distracted. Bird's nest ferns look fantastic in hanging baskets. I've got some examples that I need to put in some hanging baskets. I just haven't had the time to do it. Okay, I think we're officially back on track. This always seems to be some kind of elderberry, this plant here. I've looked into native elderberries. Look at the flowers. Definitely attracting flies. And here's some more of it. Just the way it grows and everything about it makes me think it's in the elder family. So on the left is a bit foresty, and on the right it's a bit drier. There are a lot of... Sorry, got distracted. That sign, of course, the Aleocarpus grandis is long gone, the condom. But there's another one over here. Maybe they should just move the sign. They're primarily Australian habitats, and specifically Queensland local habitats are the way that they go. There's lots of different sections, as you saw from the sign, and they've done an amazing job of getting the plants together. We're going off track here a bit just to check this sign out. Oh, okay, for this one, as if we couldn't tell. Bottle brush trees. There's a lot of different varieties. I'm sorry about that pump noise. I did not organise for that to be turned on. So the other side of the creek, it looks like you could walk across it, but it won't work. Now this is a bit overgrown with lantana. No, sorry, that's not lantana. There is some lantana in here, I thought, but I could be wrong. This is a good tree to get a bit of dead wood to wave up and down in front of your face to break spider's web when you're walking around. It's a good technique. Now we're probably going to startle some turtles. I like to sunbathe around the banks. These trees do grow into some lovely shapes. The pandanus, that is. It's a very strangely shaped tree. I think that might be the same thing there. It's a paper bark of some kind. Some trees just grow differently to others. Oh, bottle brush flowers at last. I like how crowded it is. Another big Terminalia over there at the base of the tree. Melaleucas, Terminalia paperbarks. There's some more over here. That's on a bit of a drainway. They don't mind wet feet, a lot of Melaleucas. Just have to pop in here and see if we've got some flowers. Now I assume that's an area. We do have flowers, and that's not an old dry one. I believe these need a fire to produce seeds. Swamp banksia, banksia robor. And I often have a look at them because these are just such pretty, tough and odd flowers. There's a couple more. But that first one is the most prime of all of the flowers. They must be finishing. That was a fairly recent one. Yep, that's the only flower at this stage of development. Interestingly, when it comes to grass trees, I'm going to mispronounce this, but xanthorrhea, they don't all grow trunks, and there are a lot of trunkless varieties, and these are trunkless grass trees, although there could be a couple of species here, and I'm not standing on any plants, but these do seem to have small trunks. And they're a bit more clumping than these over here. I know that there's a swamp grass tree that is trunkless, but I couldn't recognise it in a police lineup. I'm just curious about them. Okay, well, here are a couple of black bean trees. Came across a couple of these down in Bundaberg. This has already flowered, and I can see up there that it has started to set some pods. There's one at a bit more approachable height over here. Beautiful timber tree. Good sized pods. This pod will have, I'd say that'll have 2 seeds in it, and they're pretty chunky. Canospermum australis. Here we are back at the old Gladstone water supply. There's a man-made dike, earth wall over there. I think that concrete tower had something to do with the old pumping station. The pumping equipment was on the other side of that earth wall. This is something in the Terminalia family. It's the sea almond that likes to grow near beaches. And I'm not positive it isn't one of those, although I think it might have to have larger leaves. The sea almond is edible, and one of our native plums is also edible, considered to be very high in anti-carcinogens, I believe. But at the moment I can't remember the name of that plum. We shall head back to the path. Again, low-lying ground, and they've planted trees that can handle wet feet for long periods of time. We came that way. We have travelled from the first yellow X down around the bottom of this section. There's a bit of confusion around that blue spot because we walked over to there, then we went around and we came back past there, so that might confuse you. The second blue spot is the Grevillea robor, and the X at the top is where we are right now. So it's a bit hard to work out where the trees were that we went and visited, but I know exactly where we are at the moment, and this is where we came from. I like this little grouping just here. It's a bit of a drier area in Queensland. I've got the right plants, I've got the right setup, and I bet they water it just often enough. Mount Castle Tower. Presumably authentic grasses. But I'm going to go for a little wander this way. A couple of things I'd like to have a look at. That is untouched local landscape. So these parks are named after a famous Gladstone resident called Bob Tondoon. After a successful and award-winning, albeit short career as a carny, he moved to Gladstone in 1962 when his caravan broke down. Due to a thumb injury, he was unable to leave town. And he briefly put Gladstone on the map, made the place quite famous, by claiming to have invented the falafel. These are bunya clones, Araucaria bidwilli. I'm just wondering if they're going to be cropping this year. You know, it was a number of years before passing salesman realised that Gladstone was claiming to be the capital of the falafel, and that it in fact wasn't. Bob did have a little trouble with his business selling falafels though, because while everybody in town wanted to try them, they only tried them once. So it was probably just as well that the Lebanese government forced him to shut his business down when it did, because he was going to go broke anyway. Bob was quite a character. The nuts form in the crown, and you can usually see them. Well, the giant seed pods, really. Not seeing anything there. There's many a tale of Bob Tondoon and his exploits. Quite the local character. Actually, there's a tree just there. I believe it's Capparis arborea. I'd like to see what stage it's at. Is it flowering? Is it fruiting? This is one of our native capers. I believe in Australia we've got about 15 or 18 native capers. Not positive. Whoa. Slightly rougher ground. This pipe wasn't here last time, which is maybe what the electrics are for. It's budding. So it will be flowering shortly. These have a fruit that tastes like fruit salad. Here we have another view of it. Oh, there's a big piece of fruit up there. Maybe if I zoom in and circle it. It's not a big cropping year. Every 2 or 3 years they'll have a massive crop. And then they'll have a bit of time off. Sorry if you got a bit bouncy. We're kind of off-road. No, we'll go the path. Yeah, we've got Capparis arborea on the property. They're a pretty cool native. Actually, I think I have a couple in pots grown from seed. Okay, economic horticulture. Don't get your mind out of the gutter. Longans. Yes, there's no fruit on them, but they're longans. I think this was an orchard that got incorporated into the gardens. A bit of an exotic orchard. This fig tree is trying to take over the world. There's irrigation that side of it, and its roots have just followed the irrigation pipes and sucking up all of the water. So there's a collection of lychee trees back here. The birds always get to the fruit before any humans get close. So they are not something that people snack on. There's some mangoes in the back. Again, birds get them. Lychee trees. There's 2 jaboticabas over there. A Brazilian cherry with a small amount of fruit on it. Sorry, a Barbados cherry with a small amount of fruit on it. They're red when they're ripe. Tart, but quite tasty. It's got a 3-lobed seed. Oh yeah, that's tart. Whoa, that's a pollinator. This would be one of our native solitary bees, non-hiving bee. It's super cool. so big. And we can see fruit forming over here. Probably mispronounced jambu. Okay. Mulberry. I think one of these is a green. We used to have a sign saying it was a green mulberry, but the sign's gone. Yeah, this isn't black sapote. The black sapotes are over there. So that sign is wrong. Now, I believe that's another tree as well and not this one. Brahma Chama. This is 5 sides or carambola. It has multiple massive crops each year, and fruit fly get to most of them. Still, it's a nice fruit if you can keep the fruit fly off it. This is something in the Sapodilla family. I don't know what. It's never been signed. These are star apples from far north Queensland. A big tropical tree. Leaves are instantly recognisable. These are the purple star apples, purple skin. There is a green skin variety. They taste like custard apples. They are delicious. Clearly it's not fruiting season. Oh, we can get the name over here. Yes, I have not memorised that one. As I've got to change the battery, this makes a good point to end this episode. We've gone right off the top of the map, gone through the economic horticulture section, and shortly we're going to finish it off and head back down through the outer lap of the Gladstone Botanic Gardens. I told you this was a great garden. Have a good one.